Up, we have one of the beautiful, stunning bridesmaids today, and we have Tia. Tia. Sorry, the mic keeps cutting out.
Oh, I hope this doesn't happen while I'm speaking. All right, good evening, everyone. Judging by the amount of people who, after I introduced myself, said, yeah, that's nice, but where's Tia? I feel I need to clarify something. My name is actually Christiana. Brooke calls me Tia, and the name's stuck ever since. I'm so honoured to be here tonight, although I've got to say Brooke looks utterly terrified right now, and I'm going to tell you now, right? So basically, a couple months before the wedding, I received a text from Brooke asking if giving me this speaking responsibility was going to be her biggest mistake, thanks to the vote of confidence. Not wanting to over-exceed the expectations of the bride, but also kind of wanting to screw with Brooke, I said, well, I don't know, maybe. She was not convinced by my response because a week before the wedding, I received another text, and this time it read, Christiana, please, please, please don't forget. There are work colleagues at this event and also grandparents. So don't say anything that's going to get me fired, or worse, have Ben reconsider the marriage. Now, you must be wondering what kind of saucy secrets it is that I know about Brooke that could result in such disastrous consequences. And frankly, I'm just as curious as you are. Brooke, in the 11 years I've known you, you've only been seriously drunk once. And your idea of going wild is having 2 vodka cruises on a school night. But wanting to take your advice seriously, I started Googling how to write a wedding speech. And a lot of websites suggested I kind of share some relationship pearl of wisdom. But given my track record, don't worry, I'm not doing it. Instead, I'm going to share a piece of advice that my father was given before he married my mum, and they have been happily married now for 35 years. And that was, before you propose to your girlfriend, look to the girlfriend's mum, and that way you'll see your future. Ben, it's clear you got the same advice, and we all know what you did, and damn son, is your future looking fine? Nice work, Caroline. Toodles down. Brooke and I started our friendship off as pen pals. She would write to me letters sitting in one tutorial room at university, and I would respond to these letters sitting one chair next to hers in the same tutorial room at university. We had this really bizarre pen pal friendship for months, and then one day we started talking in the real world, and it clicked, and we became inseparable. And I mean that quite literally. We traveled for 30 days from the north to the south of Italy, and there was only one occasion where our beds were separated, and we moved all the furniture in the hotel room to push our beds back together so we could hold hands because we missed each other too much. Italy was also where I got to discover Brooke's really cultured taste in food, and by that I mean if it wasn't a carbohydrate and it didn't end in bolognese, Brooke wasn't eating it. And I mean that seriously, for 30 days, lunch and dinner, Brooke ate spaghetti bolognese. So I'm actually delighted to see spag bol is not on the menu for dinner tonight, but I have been assured that lemon sorbet is on the menu for dessert, which happens to be the only other thing Brooke ate for 30 days. Talk about that wild side, eh, Brooke? Italy was also a time where we got to pick up our sentimental kind of letter writing days again, because one morning we had what could only be described as a comedy of errors. Basically, we had 20 minutes to pack up our suitcases, check out of a hotel, drop off a rental car, and then make it to the station, or else we'd miss the one and only train going to Cinque Terre. When we arrived at the train station, we got conned by a man and then had our first and only big friendship fight over €5. Me being the less mature person, I decided to take myself off to another train carriage because I wanted to sit and reflect about the morning's behaviour. Brooke, being the more mature person, decided to spend the time writing a 4-page apology letter, which she hand-delivered while wailing down the train carriages. It was almost like too much drama, even for Italian standards. It was audible. I actually still have that 4-page apology letter with me today, and I want to read parts of it to you because it really says something about Brooke's character. So hold on. Dearest Tia, I'm just kidding, it's covered in tears, I can't read a thing. Now everyone knows how amazing. Okay, I don't like the sound of my own voice in my own head. All right, Everyone knows how amazing the honeymoon phase of a relationship is. But what's even better is that stage when someone really gets to know you and loves you. So one day I'm talking to Brooke on the phone and I hear Ben's voice in the background. And I beg Brooke to please, please, please let me speak to him. She reluctantly hands the phone over, but not before asking me to please, please, please not embarrass her. Sounds familiar, right? You know, Brooke, realizing I'm standing up and speaking here today, you're either an incredibly slow learner or an incredible optimist. I don't know either way. So I get Ben on the phone and I decide it's my duty as best friend to push this relationship along from that honeymoon phase into that kind of comfortable, I love you, get to know you kind of phase by telling Ben about the one and only time Brooke got seriously drunk. So like all good stories, it started off with the words Prosecco, then quickly followed by Burger King, and then the inevitable words vomit. As soon as Brooke heard those words, she took the phone away from Ben, and then I didn't get to speak to him again for months. Now, some of you guys could say this is incredibly mean, but guys, look where we are. And look what we're celebrating, and look who's still in the bridal party. I consider that a win. So, you know, Brooke, you've never officially thanked me for helping facilitate all of this tonight, but a wedding is as good enough a thank you as any, so you're welcome. And if you guys can survive this wedding speech, your marriage is going to be an absolute breeze. But please, Brooke, let me speak to Ben after this. Now, in all seriousness, I would like to address Brooke just for 1 second. I really want to tell you, you are glowing tonight, and I have not seen you wipe that smile off your face since the ceremony. I think by now you know how much I love you, because every time we hang out, someone always says to me how special our relationship is. And I don't just consider you a best friend, you're more like family, and meeting you for me, sorry, I'm gonna get really emotional, meeting you for me was like meeting my soulmate, and it made me realize that soulmates aren't just life partners, they're also friends as well. And although I've only known you for 11 years, in so many ways it feels like I've known you forever. You're just so familiar to me, and being back with you is like being back home. I hope you know how lucky I feel that we got to know each other, and also that we got to know each other so young. Because by loving and respecting one another so unconditionally, we accidentally created this high standard by which we've held all other relationships to since our teenage years. And, you know, testament to you sticking true to that benchmark, no matter how many times we've cried or laughed about how high that standard is that we ourselves created. Testament to that is here tonight, seeing you marry a man who loves and respects you so much, and nothing makes me happier. Ben, you are a gentle giant and the perfect match for Brooke. Well, actually, you could just be a little bit shorter so Brooke didn't have to step on a stool for all the wedding photos, but it's super cute to see you guys make a long-distance relationship work. Now, in all seriousness, guys, I'd like to give a toast to the happy couple, except actually, Brooke, you're not so good on Prosecco, and we've all kind of discovered that now, so I kind of arranged for you to have a little bit of a vodka cruiser for tonight so you can kind of go wild on your wedding night, but not end up in the same disastrous results as last time. And so, guys, if we could all raise a glass except for you. Here's your vodka cruiser. And give a cheers to the amazing and happy couple, to you, Ben and Brooke.